What's up, yo? It's been quite a while since my last upload. Hope y'all didn't forget about me. Anyways, in today's video, we're gonna learn how to make this edit by Natt Jongsala. If you haven't checked out the first episode yet, make sure to check it out. As always, all the assets used in this video are gonna be down in the description for you guys to download and follow along for completely free. And yeah, I'm done bullshitting now. Let's get right into the video. During Capcut, the first thing you want to do as always is to drag the original video at the bottom. And actually, let me put down the volume a little bit.
Make around 6 figures a month in revenue.
We're gonna start splitting the scene now. Here, as soon as the scene changes, you want to cut it.
And how old are you both?
I'm 15.
I'm gonna cut it again around here before you said I'm 15. So this is gonna be our first scene, and then the transition part, and of course the second scene here. But before doing any actual editing, we're gonna change some of the properties of the original video. For the first scene, you want the camera to focus on the guy on the left here. So I'm gonna put the scale up to around 316. I'm gonna change the position to 1703.
Around 6 figures a month in revenue.
And how old are you?
For the transition part, you want it to focus on the podcast guy. I'm gonna put it up to 430 and change the X position to to 922.
You both?
I'm 15.
For the second scene, you want to pan the camera back to the guys on the left. Same thing, 430. And then the position this time should be 2921, like this.
Both.
I'm 15.
I am 18.
After that, you want to drag the sample video on top of it so you can see where all the assets are. We're gonna work on the first scene. And the first animation here is the dollar bills floating. Obviously, you want to drag the $100 bill onto your timeline here. And as you can see, the color doesn't really match. So I'm gonna go to the adjustment panel and then just tweak some of the properties here. I'm gonna go down to brilliance and I'm gonna put it all the way down. Go to contrast and just put it up by a bit. And you wanna go to the color wheel tab here and just copy these numbers for the tint. 0.28, negative 0.08, and then 0.08. I'm just trying to make it more orange. I guess we're gonna work on this dollar bill first. You wanna go to effects and we're gonna use the blur effect, obviously. Put it down to like a 24. And the other effect that we're gonna use is play pendulum. Just copy these settings, 21, 20, the sharpen all the way down, and the speed 50. He's looking pretty good now. We're gonna rotate it and then try to match the position. Now it's time to get to keyframing. Now before doing that, I want to put the opacity down a bit first because it's a little bit too bright. I'm gonna make a keyframe around here at this point on the opacity and the position, and then I'm just gonna go back to like here, the dollar bill down, and put the opacity down too. So now this is what we have.
I make around 6 figures a month.
It's pretty good, but it doesn't look exactly the same as the sample video. But don't worry about it because we're gonna smooth out the keyframes later on. But for now, we're just gonna work on all the dollar bills first. We're gonna do the second dollar bill here. So all you gotta do is to copy and paste the first dollar bill, paste it here, and we're gonna delete the keyframe. This one, we're gonna put the scale down to 61, and then I'm gonna change the rotation as well, 3%, and then I'm gonna put it here. And yeah, basically all you gotta do is the same thing. You just gotta animate it. Okay, I'm gonna make a keyframe around here on the position and the opacity, and then I'm just gonna go back to like almost the beginning, and then I'm gonna put the opacity down to like around 8% and just position it like this.
I make around 6 figures a month in revenue.
Now that we've done the first $2 bills, we're gonna continue work on the rest of them. But as you can see, the other dollar bills here, they're behind the character, and if you want to do that effect, you want to copy the original video and then paste it, obviously. I'm going to go to the remove background tab and go to auto removal. So now the character is cut out, and all you gotta do is to put the dollar bills in between these two videos here.
I make around.
So I'm just gonna remove all the keyframes, and I'm gonna position it first before dragging it in between the videos. I'm gonna put the scale down to like 37. I'm gonna rotate it by around 16 degrees. And for the opacity, we're gonna just put it down to like 26, so it's not that bright. We're gonna do the keyframing first. Around here, I'm gonna make a keyframe on the opacity and the position. And I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna position it here and put the opacity down to like a 5%, something like this.
I make around.
And yeah, now all you gotta do is to drag it between the original videos.
I make around 6 figures a month in revenue. I make around 6 figures a month in revenue.
I'm probably gonna fast forward doing the rest of the dollar bills because it's basically the same thing. You gotta adjust the position, adjust the opacity and scale, and then just keyframe it. Now that we're done with all the dollar bills here, we're gonna smooth out the animation of each dollar bill. So you want to click on it and then right click and go to show keyframe animation, and then you want to highlight the first keyframe. For this one we're gonna use ISO 1. Now you just want to do the same thing for all of them. First keyframe and then ISO 1. I go to the second dollar bill here, ISO 1. Same thing. And you're probably gonna see you guys when I'm done.
6 hours later.
We're gonna do the text now. I'm gonna go to the text, here, and we're gonna do the 100k a month first. So you write 100,000 a month. The fonts we're gonna use Montserrat. I'm gonna put the size up to 20, and I'm gonna change the color to this one. You can copy the hex code here. Then I'm probably gonna add a little bit of glow, put the opacity down, and then put the range up a little bit. And I'm probably gonna change the color too, because it's a little bit too bright, I think. I'm gonna change it to a dark yellow, so we can copy the hex code here as well. Now I want to go to the animation tab, and for this one we're gonna use the random letter thing here. I'm gonna put it up to
I make around.
We're gonna do the edit text here, so we add an edit text, and then I'm gonna make it start from here and type at 15 years old.
I make around.
I'm gonna drag it down here, and this time the font you want to use Helvetica, this one. You want to make it italic. Just put the font size a little bit bigger, like this. And then you want to scroll down and go to glow, put the intensity down a bit, and then put the range down a bit as well.
Make around 6 figures.
And unfortunately, I don't think Capcut has the exact same
6 figures
animation preset.
I make around.
So we're just gonna improvise it. We want to go to animation, and I think I'm probably just gonna use a simple typewriter effect.
I make around.
Like this.
I make around 6 figures a month in revenue.
Last thing we're gonna do for the first scene is the zoom in effect here in the beginning. And yeah, it's really simple. So all you gotta do is to highlight all the layers, everything, with the original video, and then right click it and create a compound clip. After that, you wanna make a keyframe on the first frame of the compound clip, and then just go like 19 to 20 frames. And now you wanna put the scale up to 115, something like that. It's pretty good.
I make around.
And then you want to right click it again and press show keyframe animation. So now we're gonna smooth out the keyframes. Same thing, you want to highlight the first keyframe and then go to graphs and ISO 1, and this is what we have here.
I make around 6 figures a month in revenue.
Next up, we're gonna do the transition part.
And how old are you both?
I'm 50.
So first we have this transition overlay here. So I'm gonna drag the transition here. It's not exactly the same, but I couldn't really find the one that he used. But this is the closest that I can find. So obviously go to blend and then change it to screen mode, and then you want to put it in the middle.
Revenue?
And how old are you both?
Like this. And then we're gonna do the text that says how old are you. Obviously you want to type it out. How old are you? The fonts we're gonna use Helvetica.
And how old are you?
You want to scroll down to the character here. We're gonna put it to 2. So now it's pretty much the same if you position it like this. And we're gonna change the color to yellow. So you want to select the color picker and then press on to the yellow color in the sample video. So always go down to glow, and then I'm gonna put the range up a little bit, and then put the intensity down. Last but not least, you want to go to the animation tab, and for this one we're just gonna use the typewriter effect.
And how old are you both?
I'm 15.
And this is what we have now.
Around 6 figures a month in revenue.
And how old are you both?
I'm 15.
We're gonna work on this second scene now, and things are gonna get a little bit more complicated, so you guys should probably pay more attention to this part, because it's gonna be kind of hard for me to explain, and it's better for me to just show you guys. First thing that we're gonna do is to do the square frame, zoom it into the person. So you want to drag this square frame here, and then you want to increase the size. I'm going to try my best to make it as similar as the sample video. Put it down a little bit maybe, like this. And I'm going to make a keyframe on the scale and the position. I'm going to go back to the sample video and see when the square stops moving. Probably here. And now you want to zoom into the person and maybe change the position a little bit, like this.
I'm 15.
And if you look at the original video, you can see that everything outside of this square frame is all blurred out and the opacity is turned down a little bit. So we're going to try and recreate this effect here. So what you want to do is to copy and paste the original video, and then you want to go to mask, go to rectangle, and you want to make it a square first. So on the sides, make sure the length and height is the same. Now you're just going to increase it to the yellow border. So make sure it's not too big or not too small. Things sound like this is pretty good. And then we're going to make a keyframe on the position and the size of it. Go all the way here, and then you just want to zoom it in. Change the position a little bit as well. Boom.
I'm 15.
Now you can go back to the original video, and then for this one we're gonna go to effects and we're gonna add a blur effect to it, just a little bit, like 25. And then I'm gonna turn down the opacity too.
I'm 15.
And you should have something like this.
I'm 15.
Perfect. Before working on the text here, we're gonna adjust the keyframe animation for the
I'm 15.
for the square frame and on the original video here. So you want to pull up the keyframe animation, and then we're just gonna use ISO 1 for all of them.
I'm 50.
And you want to do the same thing for the square frame as well. Here, ISO 1.
I'm 50.
X position, ISO
I'm
1.
50. I'm 50.
Like this.
I'm 15.
Now it's time to do the text. We're gonna add a text here. I'm gonna put 15. The fonts, we're just gonna use the default. I'm gonna put the font size up a little bit. And then for the pattern part, you want to check bold. I'm going to put the scale up to like 130%. Drag it around here. We're also going to add some glow to it, just a little bit. So I'm going to put everything down and increase the range a little bit. I'm going to make a keyframe on the opacity, on the position and the scale. And then I'm going to go back to the square frame here. And then I'm going to press this button, which is going to send us to the end keyframe. We're going to go back to the 15. And here I'm gonna put down the scale to 100, and then move it in the frame like this. And now I'll go back. I probably want to put it down a little bit actually. I'm gonna put the 15 down a little bit here, and then I'm gonna tune down the opacity as well, like this.
I'm 15. I'm 15.
When you go to option, we're gonna tweak the keyframe animation.
I'm 50.
We're gonna use ISO 1 of course.
I'm 50.
For all of them.
I'm 50. I'm 15.
And this is what we have now.
I'm 15.
I am 18.
And we're gonna move on to the second part of the second scene.
I am 18.
Where this guy says he's 18 years old. So there's a couple of things that we gotta do. First thing is we're gonna move the video to the right side a little bit, so the camera is gonna pan on the other guy here. And yeah, I think we're gonna do that first. I'm gonna make a keyframe on both the original videos here, on the position like this, and then I'm gonna move it to the right. I'm gonna do this one first. I think somewhere around here is pretty good, so the guy's in the middle. I'm gonna copy the X position and then paste it here.
I'm 15.
I am 18.
And then we're gonna open the keyframe animation again. We're gonna use ISO 1 of course.
I am 8. I am 18.
We look like dog shit right now, but don't worry about it. We're gonna tweak it. We're gonna change it. And now we're gonna make a keyframe on the square frame. We're gonna make a keyframe on the position and the scale on the exact same keyframe here. And then you want to move to the end keyframe, and we're just gonna put the square maybe a little bit smaller, and then put it up here like this. Now you go back down to the mask. This is the mask video. So go to the mask. We're gonna make a keyframe on the position and the size. Go to this part of the video, and then just gonna move it so it's in the frame like this.
I am 18. I am 18.
Okay, same thing. I'm gonna open up the keyframe animation, go to mask, and it's a little bit complicated here. And then we're gonna do ISO 1 here, and then go to the end keyframe, and then we're gonna do ESO one as well.
I am 8.
Just gonna repeat the process.
I am 8.
And then we're gonna do the same thing for the square as well. See what we have here.
I am 8. I am 8.
Last but not least, we're gonna do the 18 years old text here. But the first thing we want to do is to animate the 15 here again to make it fade away. So here I'm gonna make a keyframe on position again, and then the opacity as well. Let me turn off this video, and now I'm gonna make it disappear. But first I want to drag it down a little bit, so maybe here, and then I'm gonna make it disappear. Put the opacity all the way down to 0, like this.
I am.
Now you want to drag another text here, and for this one we're gonna put 18. We're gonna keep the font as default. Put the font size up to 37. Of course, make sure the pattern is bold, and then we're gonna add a little bit of glow here, like this. Okay, let me turn off this video again. I'm probably just gonna position it somewhere around here, and then I'm gonna make a keyframe on the opacity and the position again. I'm gonna put the opacity all the way down to 0, and now I'm just go frame by frame, and that's when the number is fully popped up. So now you want to go back to the number 18 here, and yeah, you just want to put the opacity back up to 100, and then drag it here, make sure it's in the frame, and then from this point we're gonna make a keyframe on the scale as well, and then we're gonna go to the end keyframe, go back to the 18 number. I'm probably gonna put the scale down to an 80 here, and just drag it back up, and let's see what we have here.
I am 18.
I think now we're just gonna tweak the animation of it. I'm gonna highlight both keyframes, and we're gonna use ESO 1. And yeah, you do the same thing for
I am 8.
all the keyframes here.
I am 8.
And here's the final result.
I make around 6 figures a month in revenue.
And how old are you both?
I'm 15.
I am 18.
And that's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, make sure to give me a like and drop me a sub, and let me know in the comment section what kind of tutorials you guys want to see next. I've been pretty busy for the past few weeks, that's why I couldn't upload, but I'm on the grind now. I'm gonna try my best to stay consistent, and hopefully I can upload at least once a week. Other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day or night, whatever time that you guys are watching this video. And yeah, peace out.